If you're like me or many of the athletes that I coach, there aren't too many things better than opening up Training Peaks at the end of the week and seeing that wall of green. And when you're overcoming injuries, there's more than just the physical challenge of the injury itself. It's the mental funk that it can leave you in when you're not training regularly. So check out this episode for some more rehab exercises and how to make a plan to stick to it. I'm Joe Kleinitz of JK Endurance Coaching, and this is my journey from knee surgery to Ironman in 115 days. Hey guys, I'm Joe Kleinitz of JK Endurance Coaching, and if you missed the last episode, you want to go check it out to see how my meniscectomy surgery went and some of those early rehab exercises I started doing on day one, right when I came home from surgery. Today's day 2 of my recovery process, and it was amazing to wake up this morning without that feeling of a torn meniscus. I slept well through the night, no real pain or any issues. I didn't take any extra pain medicine or anything. I haven't taken any pain medicine all day today. I didn't even use any Aleve or anything like that. So just using the ice and some elevation in between other things I've been doing throughout the day has helped keep that swelling down and pretty much pain-free. My range of motion and mobility were great today as well. So being 114 days from the start of Ironman Coeur d'Alene, I'm feeling really good about my progress, but now I need to find a way to stick to my rehab and not get complacent that it doesn't hurt too much, doesn't feel too weak, and then I think the tendency would be to go back into training full force without doing the proper rehab. So what I have today is a plan for how you can, when you're rehabilitating an injury, make sure that you stick to it. One thing that can really help you get through injuries and times where you're not training regularly is to kind of change your mindset and think of the rehab and the therapy that you need to do as you're training for that day or for that week or however long it is till you can get back to your regular training. Using Training Peaks or another fitness app, you can schedule those physical therapy sessions right into your schedule. Even things like ice, rest, sleep, and nutrition goals can go right into your program. This will help hold you accountable. It's a good way to document the progress you're making with your therapy, and it's also a good way for you to communicate what you're doing and the progress you're making with your coach as they can access and see the activities in Training Peaks as well. So that's just what I did with my rehab. I wrote up those sessions as Training Peaks workouts, scheduled them in as an AM and a PM session during this first phase. So now let's go ahead and run through that post-op recovery exercise program that I created, and I'll show you how each of those exercises is going to look. Okay, so up first is the quad locks. We're going to go 3 to 10 reps, holding for about 3 seconds. Squeezing to activate that quad. And I am repeating after my 10 here. I'm going to do 10 on the left leg, even though that's the healthy leg. We're just going to kind of get that symmetry going. Next up is the straight leg raises. I'm going to go back onto my elbows for this. With the straight leg raises, you're going to activate that quad first, then you're going to raise up to a comfortable level. Okay, you can bend your other leg just for a little more stability. So activate with the quad lock and then raise to a level. Again, we don't need to go anything above, kind of 45 degrees, that's plenty. And then once the heel touches the ground, you can release that quad and tighten the quad up to the knee. Whole way through, that quad stays locked. So 3 by 10. 3 by 10 now progresses to V leg raises. So same position, but this time as we activate, lock the quad, we're going to go make the letter a V shape. So the interior and exterior. Heel rest, unlock, lock, lift, V shape. Heel to the ground, unlock the quad. Okay, 3 by 10 reps of this one. Okay, so we'll go from the letter V to the letter T. So again, activate, up, make a T, back to the middle, down, relax it. Okay, that's 1 rep. Three to 10, or 3 by 10 of these. Both legs. Now we're going to move into the heel slides. So in the first day of rehab, I demonstrated the heel slides, just putting a towel down on a smooth floor surface With the sock on and this smooth mat, I'm not going to need to use a towel today. Just make sure my heel starts on the end of the mat, and then I'll slide back to a position that feels comfortable, and then back to the neutral position. So 3 by 10 for the heel slides. Nice and slow. Okay, so now we're up on our feet. We're going to do our standing weight shifts. So this was demonstrated in the first day of rehab video, but I'll show you again. We're just kind of going to lean to the right leg first, get our weight there, make sure we're engaging the quad. This is more of an activation drill to kind of get us ready for a couple of the more upcoming difficult drills. We're just going to kind of hold there and get a nice posture and balance. Again, consciously engaging glute, core, quad, good rigid ankle. Hold for about 30 seconds or so, and we'll bounce over to the other side. Okay, so we're just kind of shifting back 10 to 30 second just engagement, consciously getting those muscles ready for some harder work coming up. Okay, then we'll progress into our mini squats. Again, we want to get about a shoulder width distance like any squat. Make sure our weight is on the balls of our feet. We're going to come down in a nice balanced position at whatever feels comfortable. No pain in that knee, and we'll hold for a little bit and back up. Okay, so when we call them mini squats, our goal is not to get a full squat yet. I mean, we're 1 day post-op, so we're just coming down to a nice comfortable level, get everything engaged tight, and back up. So we're going to do 3 sets of 10 of these, or we're going to build to that. If you can't do that on day 1, we'll get to 3 sets of 10 in this first phase of rehab. For the isometric knee extensions, you want to sit on a chair or bench and either put your foot against a wall, an exercise ball, a block, something that you're going to be able to put pressure against that's not going to move. And what we want to do is we're going to start off at a 90-degree angle of our knee. Once we're set up, we're going to engage the quad to extend the knee, and we're going to hold for about 10 seconds. This should not be strenuously hard, just enough engagement. There should be no pain in the knee. Hold 10 seconds and then let it down. Repeat that 3 by 10 reps on each knee. In between sets, you can also slide your chair or bench further away to increase the angle to upwards to 60 degrees. Okay, so we're going to just see everything else be the same. We're just getting a little more extension there. So we're going to now hold for 10 seconds. Again, just quad, isolating just to that muscle and no pain in the knee. Take a quick rest. 10 reps. Okay, for the open chain knee extension, we're going to sit on a chair or block. We're going to raise the leg up from 90 degrees to straight. Nice quad lock at the top, bringing that toe back towards your chest. Just a second or two hold at the top and then back down. And we're going 3 by 10 on each leg for these. You can think of the single leg stance as a progression from the weight shifts. We're going to get a good balance just over one leg, lifting the other foot off the ground. Again, we're going to be using core, glutes, quads, a good ankle stabilization as well. Our goal is to find that good balance point and hold for about 30 seconds. If you can build up to 30 seconds, it might not be something you can do on day 1. So we're going to try to hold that in, locking everything in there. Okay, if you can't even get yourself to balance for 30 seconds, you can always put your hand on a block or a wall or something to help build up to where you can do this exercise without the help of an assistant like that. Okay, we'll go left side. We're going to move on to calf raises. So pretty standard. Again, you want to have something to kind of have for, you don't want to concern yourself with balance for these, so you can lean on something like a block. Or if you could even progress to doing these on a stair where you hold on to the railing or the wall at the stairway. But our goal here is, again, don't have to worry about balance. We're going to take our weight and kind of shift it so we're not balancing, and we're going to rise up on our toes, hold a couple seconds and ease it down. Okay, so it's a standard calf raise, doing both legs at the same time. 3 by 10 of these in our first phase. Next up is our standing knee flexion. And for this one, again, we want to have something to kind of support a little bit of our weight, lean on, because we don't want to have to focus on balance. And we're going to make sure we're going to keep our knee perpendicular to the ground, and we're going to flex our heel back towards our butt, hold, and bring it down. Okay, so really thinking about squeezing that hamstring and getting good range of motion on this one. Again, we're looking for 3 by 10 on each leg. All right, and we'll close out this rehab session with a little stretching. The most important one I think to hit is the gastroc stretch. You can obviously do some more stretching, or we don't want to get overextended with our back leg. So just bring it back, a foot or two away from the wall or the block that you're leaning on for your stretch. And we're just going to ease into that, making sure to find some good stretch in our calf and our hamstring up into the glute a little bit. Okay, so kind of ease into it slowly. Once we feel, again, no pain in the knee, we just feel good kind of resistance back there, we'll hold for 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, repeat on the other side and go around that 3 times. And then we'll be done with our first session of rehab. This rehab session should take about 30 minutes. And for me on day 1 after surgery, I'm going to repeat this twice. And the second time I do this session, I may cut down on some of the reps, especially some of the things like squats and the ones that create a little more fatigue in the muscles. But then as we build, we're going to try to build up to 3 times a day. So it's about 30, so give an hour and a half a day of this rehab exercise, which is a big commitment. But again, I have a goal of getting back to that Ironman distance racing. Check out the link in the description for a free PDF file of the Phase 1 rehab program that you can copy and paste right into your own training software. Again, you're going to want to follow this progression, starting off, building into, like I said, I'm going to do maybe up to 2 times a day, 3 times a day. And some of the exercises you'll progress with either adding some weight and some resistance to them, or like the balancing, switching to different surfaces to make it a little more challenging as you go. Don't forget too, while you're doing these exercises, you want to be taking care of good nutrition, recovery. If they're, like recovery drinks, the same things you would do after a hard track workout or something like that. You want to be thinking about that same kind of fueling, same kind of sleep, and all the good things that you need to let, not only the muscles recover that you're working, but obviously the areas of the injury. I'm not a doctor or physical therapist, but these are the exercises that really seem to be working for me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If you are someone that's been through a similar injury and you found some things that work for you, I'd love for you to share those with me as well. Help me get back onto the road to recovery. Next up for me is to hop on the bike and see how that goes. So be sure to check out that next episode to see the results. Thanks for watching.